the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in tonight's battle. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday night.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortably in the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finds his running back, James Conner. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath. Hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Second and 2. He'll get this to Conner underneath. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's the option. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They'll run for the first time with James Conner. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1, if people want to run the football, this is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. This is Conner running right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Back to throw now on first down. Green brings it in.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Second and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Cardinals are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. They'll run here with Conner. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. So now a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner. That was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. Bringing him out is the future Hall of Famer, now in his 18th NFL season, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is Carson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and covers. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Greg Dortch back deep. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop, and now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
A.J. Green makes a nice catch for a 1st down, wearing that familiar number 18. But the uniform, a little bit unfamiliar. He did spend 9 seasons in Cincinnati, was their 2nd all-time leading receiver behind Chad Johnson before heading out west to join the Cardinals.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A Cardinal 1st down on a gain of 13.
That's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll look to throw again. This will be caught once again by Brown.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Back to throw again. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Going right back to DeAndre Hopkins.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Back to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Prater for the extra point. That'll make the score 15-7. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it's finished off by a touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury. And we'll be back in a moment. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. They'll look to throw here on first down. On the slant, complete to Green. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Back to throw here, and he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 2 now, second and goal. He's going to try and do this himself. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. It's their quarterback scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Cardinals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point good by Prater. It's now 21-0. Drive there, just 4 plays. And it's going to be a 2-yard touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's do this, man. Get something together. Let's go right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. They set up the screen to Penny. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. "13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Rodgers to throw once more. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz it, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on, and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half.
and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Rodgers now on first down. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now a man who moved up the depth chart with the retirement of Chris Carson. Here's Rashad Penny.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, Rodgers. Catch is made by Metcalf.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Penny. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Buda Baker, the safety, he gets in from the secondary for the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half.
This guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
2nd and 11. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw here. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6. They'll look to throw, escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a home. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
The tight end Ertz. And he's going to have the Cardinals 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Second and 6. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. next play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run behind center with Counter.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
They'll set up a throw. Touchdown, Cardinals. Zach Ertz from 8 yards out as his guys were able to push that lead out a bit further.
It seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 24 points. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. It's caught. Lockett. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him, and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. As simple has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's going, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to counter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
The incredible story of James Conner continued with one of its best chapters yet in 2021. Landing in Arizona, Conner was 2nd in the NFL with 15 rushing touchdowns and made his 2nd career Pro Bowl. The Cards gave him a new 3-year deal, ensuring that his story will continue into the future.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 17. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And this will be swung out here for Conner. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. Oh, heck of a move. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Conner diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
Well, I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Prater on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On first down, Rodgers. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Draw play. This is Carson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
A pass underneath for Carson.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Rodgers now on first down. That's complete to his speedy wideout, Goodwin.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will cut this lead down to 25. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.